catechisms. Got them, or by somebody who has them maybe. We're talking about the Apostles' Creed. Specifically today we are talking about the first article of the Apostles' Creed. The Creed describes God in three ways, which is the Trinity, like we talked about last week. And the first is the Father. So if you do have your catechism, please see page 13. And I want to just review what a creed is really quick. Can somebody tell me what a creed is? What is a creed?
Page 13. Go back.
Any ideas? We wrote our, it's not up. At the beginning of the year, remember we did our common creed among us when we wrote all those things on a piece of paper and then we all signed it. If that helps jog your memories of what a creed is, go ahead, Caleb.
A contract. Or somewhat.
Kind of, sure.
Gary!
Gary. All right, so I'll just tell you. A creed is a confession of what we believe, and we say it out loud to remind ourselves and others what we believe in. And remember that we are called to have a public faith and to confess in front of each other. It's like a pledge of allegiance, or starting your day with prayer, or even a simple way to tell God that you love Him. Listen up. So notice on Sundays we don't say, let us confess our faith in the creed. We say, let us confess our faith using the words of the Apostles' Creed.
I'll mess with it.
Okay, yeah, because I really don't know how to shut that more. So, page 13, we see Luther's description of the first article. He gives a description of all three, and that's what we'll be doing in this unit, is we're going to go through all three of them. So if you don't have your catechism this week, make sure you bring it next week. I do have extra, but I left them at home, so I will bring them. Luther does this with the other parts, like I said, and they're called, he calls them the meanings. What does this mean? And at your confirmation interview, when you complete our program, you will definitely impress us if you not only know the whole Apostles' Creed, which we expect, but if you can also give us the meanings. So spend some time in your catechism. So let us read the first article and the meaning. Do I have a volunteer, or do we just want me to do it?
We want you to do it. We volunteer.
I saw just like a little hand. You don't have to. If you want to read, you're on page 13. If you want to read the first, or just everything on that page, read the first article and then read its meaning. Nice and loud.
I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. I believe that God has created me and all that exists, that He has given me and still preserves my body, my soul, my eyes, and my ears, my reasons and all my senses, together with living clothing, all my family, and all my property. Every day He provides abundantly for all the needs of my life. He protects me from all the danger and guards me and keeps me away from every evil. He does this purely as a father, divine God, goodness and mercy, but I do not deserve it. Therefore, I ought to give praise to everyone. This is most certain.
Thank you so much. And so we're going to break that down today, so you don't have to remember it. Okay, so this is Luther's explanation of the first two lines. The first two lines are, I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. And so we're going to be talking about what it means that God is triune, like we did last week. And the first is that He's a Father. He wants us to think of Him first and foremost as His Father, as our Father in heaven. So first, we are saying, I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator. We are saying that God is our creator. He has created me, He created you, He created everything that exists. And it's important that He is still creating us. He is still preserving your body and all of your powers. And we're going to get back to what I mean by powers in a second. But what do you think it means when I say that God preserves you? What does that mean? Caleb, go ahead.
Right? He keeps you alive
Yeah.
till he's ready to take you into heaven.
Yeah, absolutely. He keeps you alive. That's definitely what I was looking for. So it means that God not only created you, but is still creating you, preserving you, the parts that you can see, like your body, and then those more spiritual things, like your feelings and your confidences and your personality, everything that makes you you, the things that you can't see, like your soul. He also preserves that as well. And we do not live by bread alone, we learn this in Scripture, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Words matter, especially words from God. They give us life. So when you hear a sermon or a song or a Bible study like we're doing now, what our friends say to us even are all ways that God can preserve you, because His word is the bread of life. And He uses us to preserve others as well. So, powers. What do I mean by powers? What are the powers that God is preserving in you? What do you think are your superpowers? I'll explain what I mean by powers in a minute, but what comes to mind when I say that you have powers? Realistically, Ben.
Second, you said realistic.
All right. What I mean, like legitimately, not in like a silly superhero way, but what could your powers be? Go ahead, Caleb.
Like your powers can be like, they can be like helping, ways to help people out.
Yeah, just like whatever you can do to help somebody else out. Okay, I like that. Ben?
Master chef.
Being a master chef, yeah. So like your talents and your hobbies. So yeah, kind of both of those things. We have two types of powers, okay? We have the general powers that everybody has, like our senses. And then there's the fact that your body can heal itself. Imagine a world where your body didn't heal itself. You got a sprained ankle. Now your ankle's sprained forever. You can't do anything now. You know?
Like in the war.
Yeah. So we have general powers, senses, healing. But then even deeper than that, we have our ability to empathize. We have an ability to think, to rationalize, to feel emotions, to take risks. We can figure out what it truly means to live. And that's what separates us from animals. And that's why I'm calling them powers. Those general powers God has given each of us. Just as a human being, you get those right off the bat. And then you have your unique powers, your unique gifts that He's given each of us to share with others. So things like creativity, or maybe you're really good at singing, or maybe you're a good athlete, or maybe you're very charismatic or generous, or maybe you're a good leader, maybe you're very compassionate. So all of those things can be your unique gifts, the things that you're good at, that you bring to the table, what you're passionate about. Those are also gifts from God. So these next, don't worry about it, bud.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right. So these next 5 things, I'll write them on the board, yes.
Can I write them? No.
I'll write them just for the sake of, I don't want to be too distracting. So these things are how God preserves us. So we said that's like keeping us alive. And it's also preserving our powers. Okay, so the first part of the meaning, as what does it mean for God to be a creator, preserving us? The first thing is, I believe that God provides me with food and clothing. And we can't really take food and clothing for granted. It is a gift from God. Let me write it before I say what I'm saying. So food and clothing. That is one of the ways that God preserves us. Imagine.
I don't think we would go very long without food.
All right, yeah. And you know, He gave us, we read in Genesis, He gave us dominion over the earth to eat certain things and animals and all of that. He provided just food from the earth. We don't even have to, I know we have all of these man-made foods and things like that with preservatives and GMO, and we tried to make food better and all that stuff, but we didn't really need to because all the food was already here. It's just a natural gift. And we can also use, things like, the earth to make stuff like clothing. I was going to bring up that verse, I think it's Matthew 6. Matthew 6. It talks about, he's talking about worries and things, and he said, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. But before that, he says, don't worry about what you will eat or drink or what you will wear, because God has clothed the lilies of the field, and they're dressed even more beautifully than Solomon. And I think that if God cares for the flowers, and if God cares for the birds and all that stuff, how much more does he care about you guys? Because we are his children. So he preserves us by providing food and clothing. He preserves us by giving us home and a family. Home. Well, there you go. And you can't get away from, having a family, really. Even if you try, you still have one. And even if you feel like you don't have a family, sometimes God will move you in a direction to have people surrounding you that are like your surrogate family, like you did for me. So yeah, this says, what would life be like without a home or a family? And so, again, not to take those things for granted. And if you ever do find yourself temporarily without those things, ask God to provide them, because it is certainly in his will that you have these simple things in some way, shape, or form. And he may take away what seems like family or home, but he can provide a different sense of family and home, more in line with what he wants to preserve in you. Like I said, like he did for me. And growing up, when things might not have always been so stable, moving house to house, but also like within my family. If my relationship with my parents wasn't super stable, he provided me with other mentors in my life that could kind of step in and be, a surrogate family for me. So the next thing, why do I keep closing this marker if it's so hard to open? Daily work. That might sound silly, that God preserves us.
I mean, what are you else to do?
Right? Yeah, what else are we going to do aside from work? That's a good point. And this might not, seem like a big deal to you guys now, but in a couple years it will. And it really might define your life. You really can't escape that. So finding a place or a job where your unique gifts and passion and powers, like we talked about, that God has gifted you with, meets with a need in the world, that is your daily work. And some people spend their whole lives searching for meaningful, fulfilling daily work. And if you can have a meaningful job that you're passionate about, it really won't feel like work. I love in Ecclesiastes, it says, eat, drink, and enjoy your work, because these are gifts from God. So in Ecclesiastes, Solomon is having this whole breakdown about how life is meaningless and all that stuff, and he doesn't understand the reason for anything. Why do we work sun up, to sundown, and why do we do these things? And then he finally comes to the conclusion that we should do these things because they are gifts from God. Obviously, there's boundaries and like letting your work consume you and all that stuff, but that's like a whole other thing. All right, number 4, God preserves us by giving us all that we need. I'm going to put daily bread.
Same as food.
No, not the same as food.
It's like, I forgot.
Say it.
Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's
Okay.
like what,
Daily worship?
Like spiritual food.
Yeah. Like
Is that what you're trying to get at?
Yeah, like, yeah.
Yes, well, I saw you motion to your heart, so I was hoping that's where you were going. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Jesus encourages us to ask God for all that we need that day to be a part of his work in the world. And the things that we say, the things that we do, or maybe that we don't do, our daily bread is so much more than food and clothing. It's more than family and friends. It's more than your house and your home. It's more than your daily work. It's God giving you what you need from his own word and his own spirit to motivate you to do what matters. And usually, hopefully, that lines up with the daily work. Hopefully everything's, on the same page. Okay, a couple more minutes here. All right, last one. God preserves us through protection. God preserves us through protection. God protects us. What do you think it means that God protects us, Caleb?
He protects us from all the other things in the world. Let's say, for instance, like wars and stuff.
Yeah.
He protects us from that. He protects others who are like doing all the dangerous jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah. I agree to a point because there are Christians in other parts of the world that might disagree that they're protected from wars. You know what I mean? But I do agree.
They're not protected from wars, but they're still living.
That's fair. I get what you're saying. Go ahead, Elaine.
I also think that he protects us from going into bad influence. Like if you have a gut instinct that you shouldn't do something, that's him telling you not to. And also he protects people very last second. If you're about to get into a dangerous situation, he'll lead you away from it.
Absolutely. I definitely believe that. You said discernment. Yeah, helping you decide what would be a good decision or a bad decision or what might corrupt your character and things like that. Good answers. So yeah, I just have on here, he can use a still small voice, his spirit giving you a gut feeling, or he might use your friend to give you trusted advice or something, and he can use other people around us to protect us. And then, of course, we have his law. His law was absolutely meant to protect us. I just recently read through Leviticus, and there are all types of laws in there, okay? There's laws for offerings, and there's laws for how to treat your neighbor. There's laws for who to have relationships with, and there's laws for what to eat and not to wear clothing woven with two types of fabric and all of this stuff. So go ahead.
Did they say you couldn't wear jewelry in Leviticus?
Not in Leviticus, maybe in Deuteronomy's laws too, right? Maybe in there. I don't know. I didn't read that one. But so some of the laws I thought seemed kind of silly because they were obvious, and then some of them seemed kind of silly because why can't I wear polyester clothing? But the whole point that I gathered from Leviticus and all of these laws was the same for all of them. The whole point behind each of the laws was do not be like the pagan culture around you. Do not conform to the world. I want you to be holy. I want you to be set apart. And so that is how he's protecting you through the law, is helping you not conform to the world around you. So if it says something, I think it did say don't get tattoos, and then there were other ones don't inbreed in your family, and those are on the same level. They're on the same page, but they have the same meaning behind them, because the pagan culture that was around the Israelites were doing all of these things. They were getting tattoos, and they were doing all types of stuff, and they were eating food that was crossbred and stuff like that. And so God was like, do not do these things. I'm protecting you. I'm setting you apart. So it's not, and now we don't have to follow the letter of the law, Paul tells us, but it's the general principle behind it that still we are supposed to not conform to the world around us. Anyway, that could have gone down a really bad rabbit hole, I guess. Okay, so the last paragraph here says, he does this purely out of fatherly and divine goodness and mercy, though I do not deserve it. So I just want to point out that word divine. Divine does not mean far away or out of your reach. God's divinity or mystery is hidden right in our midst. And we have glimpses of it all around us if we are willing to stop and look for it. And he does all this although we do not deserve it. And I would like you to touch more on that in small group, just for the sake of time. I'm going to skip some things. Okay, and then it says, therefore I ought to thank, praise, serve, and obey him. And you know, the great thing about this, therefore I ought to thank, praise, serve, and obey him, is that you don't have to worry about putting in like extra effort to do these things, right? But it's just because he preserves us that the Spirit will move you to a heart posture of thanksgiving, and he will move your heart to obey him and want to obey him, because the Spirit will turn our desires toward God all by himself. He doesn't need our anything to do that. Do we have any questions on any of that? I know that it was kind of fast, but that was just for the sake of time, and I did skip one part. But can somebody give me the big idea for today? Give me the big... Somebody besides Caleb.
No, me.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. I want somebody besides Elena and Caleb to give me the big idea that we've been talking about this for the last 20 minutes. I'm not going to call on you.
Yes, you are.
Give me the big idea from today. I need to know that we're listening and hearing. That's different.
I got this trust. Wait.
Caleb, I'm not calling on you.
No, I got this.
You saved everybody from answering questions.
I got this.
That is still a picture of you, Caleb.
Oh, yeah. You look so tough.
What is the big idea from the last 20 minutes? Somebody.
Somebody raised
Did
their
nobody
hand.
hear?
Mona Frank.
I know Elena knows. I know Caleb knows, but I don't know if anybody else knows. All right, Ben.
Trusting God.
No, that was not it. Nate.
Can I not phone a friend?
You.
Me.
No.
Me.
I'm not phoning.
Oh, wait, I got Lila.
Listening to God?
Listening to God. Not quite.
David and Caleb.
I know it's not right,
Okay, Elena, you want to take a shot?
but like that's the stuff that he fulfills you with.
I need a little more explanation.
I'm phoning
Caleb.
Oh, you're phoning
This
Lila.
guy's hand raised.
Got another one? Yeah?
Oh, that God knows what's best for us, even
That's pretty good. Okay. I'll take that because of the preservation stuff, kind of mixed with what Elena said. What did you say? You said a key word and I forgot it.
God knows what's best for us.
God knows what's best for us. Yeah. So but he knows what's best for us because he is our Father. Thank you. He is our Father. And he is our creator. Okay? And he does these things for us, not because of anything that we have done, but because he created us and he's responsible for us. Caleb.
Doesn't he like have a little part of himself in us?
Yeah.
That's the bread and the wine.
The bread and the wine. Yeah. He created us in his image. We have his breath of life, which is the Holy Spirit. And I'd say that pretty much covers it. Yeah. All right. Any questions?